come on. I mean, she's obviously aware of what America did to her. We kind of wronged this woman in the worst possible way. And for her to take a jab at National Intern Day is hysterical. I mean, I like the exit stage left, like she's in a Shakespearean play. I'm guessing King Lear with 2 E's. But I think it's great.
You love a good joke.
I love a good joke.
So I knew you'd probably go that way. Felicia, what's your take on this?
I didn't really take it that seriously. I feel like she's just being a little witty, and it's definitely like a new millennial type kind of thing that's happening right now. So I just think she's being a little witty.
National Intern Day is very like, here everyone gets a ribbon and a pat on the head sort of millennial thing.
Well, I guess I'm the curmudgeon on this one because I think she kind of blurred the lines a little bit. I feel like with this, it's such a serious issue with the movement and everything going on right now, and she's kind of one of the leaders of that movement with what took place with her in the early 90s and not having that support, the country lacking that awareness to understand that she was a victim then, and she's been very vocal now, as she should be. She was wrong. She was put in a position where somebody was taking advantage of her in a power position, and she's been very serious in that push, as she should be. And she's talked about PTSD, and she's talked about the deep impacts of this, and then to go make a lighthearted joke, I feel like that takes away a little bit of the momentum. And you know that I love a good joke.
I love a good joke. I think it's great that she can at least take a jab at something that was so painful in her life. And
I think you feel like she's being too ambiguous and toting both sides of the fence.
Yeah, I think, 1 week it's, you guys don't understand the position that I'm in with this and how I've lived with all this and how harrowing it is and difficult and all the obstacles. And I truly believe that. I'm not ever questioning that part. So what I don't like is, why go make this joke?
Because I don't think the joke takes away from it, because it's basically being like, how is this a thing now that we're just like, oh yes, we've always loved our interns. No, we didn't. We used to treat them like garbage.
So I feel like you see it as a joke. I see it as a witty remark. Just a witty remark, kind of.
I think a good joke has like an insightful truth to it, and that
poking the beast a little bit.
I hear you, and I could definitely buy that part. I guess there's a part of me that feels like she's a little reckless, a little bit. This isn't I'm not saying this is extremely reckless here, but I'm saying, remember Plane Bay, the situation with the 2 people that randomly sat together on a plane, the couple who had them sit there so that she could sit with her husband.
We discussed it on the show.
Yes, and then she took the video, and it was very invasive because it became this national story, and the woman who was recorded never wanted to be. And so people came at that woman who recorded her. Well, Monica Lewinsky is one of the people who really pushed this story. I want to know who this is. I want to find out who this is, and was invasive in her own right. And her big narrative was, I got put into the spotlight that I never wanted to be in the early 90s. Here she is doing it to somebody else. I just feel like there's a theme of hypocrisy a little bit here with Monica Lewinsky in this one. Maybe I'm being too strong.
I don't know. As a former unpaid intern who was treated like garbage, I can tell you that I thought that joke was hysterical.
Okay, well, there you go. It's an interesting conversation. Am I overreacting to this one? I'd love to hear your thoughts, and that's why
I have to tell you, it's not very sexy.
You're
it's not very attractive.
You know how you'd meet like a French person, you'd be like, oh my God, that's so sexy. Like, let's go to bed. No one ever meets a Chicago and it's like, let's jump in the sack.
And then at least the East Coast kind of has that New York bravado that kind of goes with it. Ours is just like, Chicago, it's a BS. It's a BS. I don't know.
Fran Drescher.
You're great at it. Why are you from the Bronx? Why are you from Flushing, Queens?
No. I'm saying that's how Chicago's is. But so I guess I feel like it's also 2 accents, because then you got the side of Chicago that's just like all Southern, like everything we say from the South with the whole Great Migration thing that happened.
And that's what's interesting is there is different ethnicities, obviously, that come in and make up Chicago. So there is different within Chicago accents, which I do believe. And it's funny you mentioned the Southern migration to Chicago that's well documented. But Texas was #1 for having the best sounding accent.
It makes their racism sound so appealing. It's fantastic.
This is biased.
Texas.
I like the New York accent. So if I had to vote, I'd probably go with New York. Boston, though, to be up there blows my mind.
Can you give me your best New York accent?
Tournament. The water. The tournament.
Okay.
Those are the only 2 words.
Solid.
Tournament. Water.
I think we're forgetting the often overlooked Minnesotan accent, which is just by far America's greatest.
Yeah.
A Fargo accent. Oh, the Fargo accent up there, they just say everything just kind of all through their nose.
Oh my gosh, that's really
all through their nose hole. Yeah, it's real good.
That is really good.
That's a really bad one, too. I agree there. Zach?